Hey guys, Abner Miranda here. Today I want to do a video for you that I have actually filmed 4 times. This makes number 4. It's a subject matter that I have attempted to get into. What you guys don't know is many times I'll videotape something and then I'll go home and I'll watch it and I'll go, that's not presenting well, or ooh, I like this idea. I'll make notations in my phone and then I'll come back out here and rework the video. I approach the videos that I do with the mindset of I'm giving you guys knowledge and it's a take it or leave it kind of a thing. One of the things I do as a side hustle is I do videos for Bravo Concealment for their blog, and they're always shown here on my channel, and that's what this video is right now. And my media contact over at Bravo Concealment is a young lady who's just constantly on. I mean she's on it. She's really cool to deal with because she's on her job. And she shoots me ideas and stuff, and sometimes I talk with her and I go, Brianna, you know, we're not touching that one. Way too many legal pitfalls. This is one of the videos, and the reason it's taken me 4 times doing this over is I've started editing and gone, no, can't go there. And I don't like presenting videos to you guys that are comprised of a bunch of cuts. This subject matter is too important to not do a video on, and the subject matter is this. It's actually a multi-layered thing. And it says, at what point is it justified to draw your firearm? And then self-defense tips, demonstrations on what to do in that moment and after. Considering all factors, do you shoot? Okay, at what point is it justified to draw your firearm? Well, the simple answer to that is when you feel your life is in danger. As a police officer, I had a lot of leeway to draw my firearm, and I drew my firearm regularly. If I was on a traffic stop and something did not seem right, I immediately drew my firearm, and sometimes I just stood in the darkness. And I tended to do my traffic stops in darkness whenever possible. I stood in the darkness and I watched the vehicle. Or alarm calls. Definitely firearm out. Even though you don't even see a threat. If it's an alarm call and you have to search the home, definitely a firearm out. So there are a lot of things that allow you as a cop to draw your firearm. As a private citizen, I don't have that. For me, if it is a direct threat, like for example, this guy over here, Mr. No Rifle on his shirt. So if this dude is there in relation to my vehicle, yeah, he's too close. And he is most definitely going to be getting a gun if he's walking right at me. The reason for that is I tend to park my vehicle out of the way. So if someone is following me out to my vehicle and there's no one immediately around me, the guy's going to get eyeballed. He's going to be verbally challenged. And trust me, guys, I have verbally challenged people before. If he continues walking, it's an immediate gun. And actually, we'll just go ahead and cover that. If he continues coming at me, let's say that this camera position is him, and he continues coming, and he's coming at me, and I go, that's far enough, stop. And the guy keeps coming, it's this position here. Now, if someone does this to me, or this, I automatically know that I'm dealing with a person who knows what they're doing with a firearm. This is a person that I say to myself, I don't want to go there. Whether you even understand tactics and training and procedures or not is irrelevant. This stance, let's say you're a bad guy, if you see this stance, you automatically know you're dealing with someone who has intent to fight you off and who knows what they're doing with this firearm. Not this crap, and definitely not this. Why is this a bad idea? Because I'm pointing a gun at you, right? I'm pointing a gun and you haven't really shown me anything. You haven't brandished any weapon. That's why this video has to be skirted very carefully. If this guy is approaching me and I have just popped my vehicle, or worse yet, I've just put my wife or one of my children in the vehicle, and this guy starts approaching me, we got a problem. So once again, if you feel threatened, if you feel that your life is in danger, draw the firearm. The argument can be made, and I will say, I've actually said this before in videos, so I guess I shouldn't have a problem saying it now. Because of my experience in police academy, because of my experience as a police officer in actual fights, one of them ended up on the hood of my car. I mean, it was ugly. It was me and my sergeant and this wiry thug. And it was unbelievable how fast and strong this kid was. And he got a couple whacks on me. And I'm telling you guys, it's one thing to be in a fight in police academy, right? You know, there's the red man suit and you're swinging, right? And it's a whole nother thing. Those of you that have been in rumbles understand. Hits inside of this zone, inside of these areas, will waggle your eyes. I can articulate that the reason that I immediately went to firearm was because he just kept coming. empty hand technique or not. And that's where a lot of people are going to disagree with what I'm saying, and I frankly don't care because I know what I'm talking about. If that dude is empty hand and he continues walking in my direction, he's getting a gun. Because I know that mixed martial arts, MMA no longer has a look, right? Anybody can be trained in MMA. Anybody can be trained in Krav Maga. Anybody can be trained in any number of the martial arts which specialize in empty hand. So I can articulate this moment that I felt that my life was in danger. And there are those of you that are going to say, okay, well, what about duty to retreat, right? I get that. But remember, if I'm talking about a loved one, if I'm talking about a loved one in the vehicle, am I going to retreat? Am I going to abandon my loved one? There are so many levels to this, which is why I'm trying to kind of stay down the middle for you guys. So if I feel that my life is in danger, firearm comes out. If he continues to approach, he's going to get verbally challenged. If I'm forced to have to go from here to here, at this point, I have to commit to the shot. Remember, I verbally challenged him. He continues coming. There's only so far that I should be reasonably expected to retreat. Once again, we're operating under the assumption that a loved one is in this vehicle. So now let's go ahead and go all the way into this at the ugly level. Let's say that this guy has decided he's going to continue to approach. Or let's say I'm in a parking garage and the only flippin' place to park was on the top deck with 6 stories over the side of that wall. Where am I gonna go, right? I'm stuck, and he knows it, and he keeps coming. And we're gonna make believe that I'm by myself. I'm approaching my vehicle, I pop the lock, I get ready to get in, I realize this guy is coming at me from across another row of cars. I realize he's coming, I lock the door, and I get to here. Now, this guy should understand, if I move to here, he should understand he may want to rethink what he's presently doing, because he's got to be thinking to himself, I at least have some situational awareness to not stand there and have a conversation with him. Guys, by the way, the worst position to be in, having a potentially deadly conversation is here. Why is that? Well, first of all, from here, I'm kind of stuck. I'm stuck shooting my own window out. And by the way, guys, that first hit, I know that people think that bullets are somehow laser beams. They're not. That first hit is going to cause a lot of damage. And when I say damage, I mean there's a lot of junk that's going to get flung back in my face. Not to mention the impact that comes off glass when you pull the trigger is unbelievable. I know this because I've done a lot of vehicle training. The instant I realize this is a potential problem, and I know I don't have the time to jump in, lock, fire up, and go, then it's the better thing for me, because remember, this is assuming I still have my keys in my hand. The better thing to do is lock that door and back up, and or do that one, and I'll shut it off for the sake of the video. So you activate the alarm on the vehicle. Is that going to do much of anything to stop him? No, but it's going to draw attention, and people like this don't like attention. Criminals do not like people eyeballing them. They want to be able to do what they want to do, and they want to do it quickly, and they want to leave. Whether you activate the van alarm or not is irrelevant. From the standpoint of what this scenario is, I feel that my life is in danger, so I draw my firearm, and I get to a position of, I'm going to say cover, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. I've had a lot of vehicle training, and I can tell you for a fact, vehicles can suck up more damage than you can imagine. It is mind-blowing how many rounds it takes to fully get through a vehicle, especially with an angle like this. I've got a lot of angle that I can work on with this guy, especially if I work from back here. Okay, I can't back up too far because you'll lose me in this camera, but if I back up several feet, and remember, let's say that once again I got a wall back here. There's only so far I can go, because you remember, top parking deck, you're gonna have a parking block that you've made contact with, and you're usually going to have a few feet behind your vehicle for your lift gate to open for you to get things in and out. So you're going to have a wall about here. So I'm stuck in a position where I know I can't move. If I jink this way, he knows that, so he goes with me this way. So I'm pretty much at the limit of my mobility. At this point, I'm kind of stuck. If this guy continues coming and I verbally challenge him, and I'm telling you guys, whether he's open hand, whether he's got a club, a knife, or definitely a gun, At this point, once I've challenged him with a firearm, he continues to come, it's deadly force time. So you drop the guy, right? He goes down, he spills out. At this point, you have to look to see if there's anybody else, if you've got any potential threats. Remember, the guy's down. You have to see if you have any potential threats. If you discharge a firearm, you absolutely can bet someone's coming. It might be someone with a cell phone to videotape because it's just the world we live in, or it might be security for the garage, or it might be from the building across the way, somebody saw something and called 911. You've just dropped this dude, right? You've made a lot of noise. The better thing for you to do at that point is to holster up once you feel safe. I cannot say that enough. Once you feel safe, do not allow fear, do not allow legality, do not allow social pressure to force you to put that gun away until you're ready to go, which is why doing this in the training environment, that kind of stupidity is how you get hurt in the real world. It's pop, 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 and then follow the threat to the ground. Make sure he's actually down before you put that gun up. So once the gun is up, you get in a position where you feel safe, and you dial 911 as well. And you say the least amount possible. I've been involved in an altercation. I'm on the 6th floor level of such and such parking garage. We need medical help. And you leave it at that. You try to give the least amount of information possible, because remember, everything you're saying is being recorded. In fact, before the operator picks up everything, once that line went live, and you hear the brrr, brrr, the system is already recording. The system is already recording. Okay, please get your mind around that. Anything you say from the moment you do 911 send, it's a recording. Least amount of information possible to get help to come to you. Do not leave the area. Unless you feel threatened, unless something is going on, and whatever that something is up to you. Unless you feel threatened, please do not leave the area. Trust you're going to have to give up your firearm, and you may end up in handcuffs. And at that point, most of us feel the urge to start talking. Do not start talking. As a police officer, I'm telling you, as a former cop, please do not start talking. I had a great instructor in police academy named Lance Biddle. He is, with all honesty, the only instructor that still stands out in my mind. All the other instructors I had for that particular week of training of firearms are nothing but a blur to me. They're irrelevant. Mr. Biddle really stood out. The reason for that was, he said, if you find yourself in a position as a police officer where you have to get your gun out, be in a hurry to get it out. He said, never be squeamish about getting your gun out. Get it out, do what you've got to do, and when you have to put it away, be very reluctant to put it away. Be very, very slow to put that gun up, because that gun, once you have pulled it out for a reason, you have to think about what forced me to take this gun out. Should I be putting it away? So he always said, be in a haste to get it out, be reluctant to put it away. And that is what I say to you. Criminals are very good at depending on society's lack of resolve in dealing with their behavior. Take this from someone who has dealt with evil as a police officer. Guys, I have been shocked with the things that I have witnessed as a police officer. The depravity of humankind is unbelievable. Guys, unbelievable. Difficult to believe the things that I've seen as a cop. So I say to you, if someone is approaching you, you instantly go to level 10, all the way up. Deal with people directly, and you'll be surprised at how often you'll actually come out on top. But the trick is, don't be the person who's so dumb as to allow yourself to get sucked in and end up this close to someone. Because then you've stepped into their parlor. Deal with people from this distance. If they continue to move any closer than this, deal with them very harshly. Guys, I know that I have probably created more questions than answered questions for you, but like I said, this was a video that is too important to not cover. This is a subject matter that is too important to not cover. Criminals prey on society's weaknesses, and you have to learn to deal with people in a very direct and very forceful manner. If you guys have any questions, leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. As always, I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out in practice. Have a good one.